On March 7, 2025, the Colombian Navy made an announcement that stunned the world. They had intercepted the first remotely controlled submarine in history, a vessel built to smuggle illegal cargo and vanish from radar. Where did this submarine come from? Who was controlling it? For months, those questions went unanswered. But what followed was stranger and darker than anyone could have expected. This story begins with a shocking technical twist. The sub was fitted with a satellite dish linked to the Starlink network. Through it, the smugglers could operate the vessel from anywhere in the world. Someone had figured out how to switch on a Starlink terminal without authorization, a major security breach. How did they do it? Was there an inside job? We still don't know. But when authorities boarded the submarine, they didn't find contraband. They found bags of sand. The shipment was a test, a probe, a question. Can this route work? Is the path safe? And the surprising part? This was not the first time. Investigations later revealed that authorities had discovered 14 different submarines. At one point, smugglers moved up to 25 tons of illegal goods using similar methods. The scale is massive, and if you think that's normal, it's not. The inventors behind these subs weren't ordinary criminals. They had created ghost subs that modern radars couldn't detect. I cover the strange, the uncanny, and the hidden networks that shape our world. Before we dive deeper, hit subscribe. Let's step back. The black market for illicit goods spans continents. Historically, Afghanistan produced up to 85% of certain opiates. But geopolitical changes shifted the map. Today, the main manufacturers are in the Americas: Mexico, Peru, Bolivia, and most notably, Colombia. These countries are the manufacturing backbone of the trade. So how do they move the product? By land, air, and most famously, by sea. The Caribbean is full of smugglers' craft, old ships, floating hulks, and now, converted submarines. Smugglers use tricks to avoid coast guards, fake cargo, decoys, and even taking hostages. If authorities try to intercept, they threaten lives, a brutal deterrent that keeps enforcement cautious. Smugglers are inventors. They use cars, trains, animals, trained birds, drone catapults, and of course, submarine-style craft. But the sea remains the favored route. A small, remote sub launched at night, touching shore quietly. It's low risk, high payoff. Now, meet the man at the center of our story, a Colombian trafficking kingpin, a figure so powerful he planned to retire with one last colossal shipment. 15 tons, a record amount, nearly impossible to move in a single go. To accomplish it, he needed something new. He didn't buy a submarine. That would be too visible. He built one. He reportedly kidnapped the best mechanical, electrical, and mechatronics engineers in the country, took them to a secret compound in the jungle, and forced them to assemble submarines out of old ships. He promised them a fortune, millions, if the plan worked. They built 8 prototypes. The first, Escobar, was a 15-meter test craft, simple, stealthy, with one engine and almost no electronics to avoid radar. Coated in rubberized paint, it carried up to 8 tons. Its engine used a one-pulse ignition. It fired, charged for 5 minutes, and coasted the rest of the way. Model 2, Chile, added a fuel tank for longer journeys toward Europe. Model 3, Diver, could fully submerge, with cameras and air sensors so the crew could surface briefly to breathe. Model 4 depended on nearly 200 batteries, giving it raw power, but a limited range of about 70 kilometers. The trick for long runs? Towing. The subs were attached by long cables to motherships and released close to shore. If law enforcement chased the mothership, the crew would detach the sub and it would continue silently to the beach. The plan was elegant, cruelly simple, and shockingly effective. By 2022, the operation was in motion, with launches bound for America, Europe, and Asia. For his retirement coup, the Kingpin planned a 15-ton shipment to the United States. The stakes were enormous, but something went wrong. The plan depended on collaborators within law enforcement. A phony police task force staged arrests and false seizures. The idea was to create a controlled interception, then divert most of the cargo. On the night the subs approached Miami, crooked officers staged a dramatic seizure. Cameras recorded arrests, and the public thought the job was done. Behind the scenes, betrayal spiraled. After the fake bust, the corrupt officers turned on their own imposter leaders. But just when it seemed the operation would collapse, another twist. The fake chief reportedly murdered his replacement's new crew, stole the entire 15-ton load, and vanished to Cuba. The mastermind who wanted a theatrical exit? He lost everything. In the end, authorities discovered many of the subs. Arrested suspects revealed the details, the prototypes, the towing methods, the satellite experiments. Of the engineers kidnapped to build them, almost none survived. The Kingpin had ordered them killed to erase all witnesses. There was a heavy media blackout. Only fragments leaked, images of rusty subs, photos of seized hulls, and confusing claims about hacked Starlink terminals. Yet the scale was undeniable. Smugglers nearly moved 30 tons, an amount that would have radically altered the global market. So what does this mean? First, never underestimate criminal ingenuity. They adapt to technology and weaponize secrecy. Second, the sea remains a gray zone where shadow networks experiment away from public view. And third, technology we think is neutral, like satellite internet, can be exploited. If this fascinated you, you're not alone. Tell me in the comments who really won this story and who lost. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who loves a real mystery.